Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Thursday community live stream by the Bullrun community. Greetings to everyone, all of you. As always, I'm very excited about these community events, especially it being on YouTube. I can display on screen what I'm talking about, and hopefully it will be much clearer. Again, welcome to all of you that are able to make it today. Very excited about another session with you, community. And of course, also for those that are not able to make it live, no worries. It's YouTube, it's recorded. You can always bring your follow-up questions, and I hope it will be a very interesting session for you as we go through this session today. As always, we always like to keep these sessions extremely informational, educational, and especially inspirational. To achieve this, I will always need your support. I will need your proactivity. So feel free to prepare any feedbacks, any questions, anything you want us to discuss, break down, or you want me to demonstrate on screen. Feel free to write it down, and we'll go through it. As always, the schedule is always clear. I always have like a topic, a question, something that I want us to go to discuss, like a topic or a question that guides us throughout the session. And then we'll go through some articles as well. And I always like to zoom out, talk about the market, talk about the challenges, the opportunities, and then zoom back into our ecosystem. I always like to point out parallels to just clarify things and put things in perspective. And then we go full circle, coming back to you, community, and go through your comments and see what you have, so we can discuss them or clarify them piece by piece. And yes, that's the schedule for today. That's on the agenda right now. So yes, without further ado, I'd like to get to it. Again, welcome to all of you that were able to make it today. Feel free to bring in your comments, your questions. I'm always looking forward to a dialogue with you. So I always like to start briefly. Let's look at the market first. Let me change my camera. Let me switch it, share the screen with you. All right, here we are. Let me refresh. Actually, before I get to this, why don't we see who's in the chat? Let's see who's in the chat first. Let's get to greet everybody first. All right, let's come back and see who is in the chat. Let's greet each other first. Let's see who's here. All people smile in the same language. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday back to you too. Shema, my good brother Theo. How's it going, my good brother Theo? Greetings, Bullrun family. I hope you all are ready for yet another epic YouTube live today. I can't wait to get this started. Let's go. I feel your enthusiasm, my good brother Theo. I feel the same, and I'm sure the entire community feels the same as well. Always nice having you here. Great brother Demo Crypto, happy Thursday. I'm ready for the live event today. Good day to you, Steve. Good day to you too, my good brother Demo. I hope you are still able to demonstrate the ledger today. Great one. I will demonstrate it, assuming that we already went through opening a wallet with MetaMask. I'll go from there and then just demonstrate how, for example, you can add wallets and so on and so forth. I'll be happy to do that. Miss Sharon. Nice having you in the community as well. Hello, family. Hello, family. Hello back to you as well. Mr. Franklin. Hi, Bullrun family. We thank God for being here again. How are you now, my brother Steve? I'm doing so much better. I appreciate you asking, my brother Franklin. Thank you very much for asking. Doing much, much better. And I'm regaining strength again, going back to 100%. Yes, I am. Thank you for all you do in this space. Thank you for your proactivity. Thank you for your positive energy. And thank you for always showing up in these community events as well, my good brother Franklin. Nancy, greetings, Bullrun family. I'm so excited to be part of this community. So are we. We are very excited having you in the community as well. Again, hello, Steve. Hello, Bullrun community. Hello back to you as well. Hello, community. Hello, Bullrunners. Happy to see you all here. Let's hit the like button. Engagement is key. Engagement is key. Let's trigger the algorithm. Hello back to you too. 8444BRL. Hello, Bullrunners. Steve in the house. Hello, Steve. Hello back to you too. Nice always having you here as well. 8444. The famous Cryptorizer. How you doing, Cryptorizer? It's been a while. Greetings, good family. Hope you're all well. Thanks for another live stream, Steve. Thank you too for showing up as usual. Always nice having you here. I'm happy I made this live stream today. I've been traveling for the last week. Let's go BRL. Nice having you here. I'm glad you were able to make it. Always a pleasure having you here. And what else we have here? Hello, Mr. Steve. Thank you for these informative sessions. Thank you as well for participating in these sessions. Always nice having you here as well. Hello, Steve. Happy Thursday. Hello back to you as well. Happy Thursday to you as well, Meme Dream. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Yes, I'm also very happy. I'm energetic, excited about today. Always a good day to be informed, educated, and inspired. Let's go BRL. Nice to have you here on board as well, Nick. The famous Miss Patricia. It's a pleasure having you here. Good evening, family. Happy to be here. Thank you, Steve. Likewise, thank you very much, Miss Patricia. And Miss Chantel as well. Hello, Mr. Steve. It's nice to be here. It's a pleasure having you all here as well. It's an honor. I'm really super excited about today. And now that we've greeted each other, we won't be complete without Miss Kosi. Greetings, family. Happy to hear you are feeling better today. Thank you very much. Greetings back to you, Miss Kosi. Miss Martha, nice having you here as well. Good evening, Bullrun family. We are about to be empowered. I'm really excited having so much strong support from the women group. And again, it's amazing what's been happening in the women's group as well. You've brought new life, new breath of fresh air in the space, in the ecosystem. We're really happy to have you all here in such great numbers. Now that we've greeted each other, let's get to today's topic. Let me share my screen again. And let's just briefly look at the market. It's really not much excitement going on. The biggest news is Sam Beckman-Fried going through the trials. But other than that, the market has been going sideways. We've been down now 1.11% for the 24 hours. We're at 1.26 trillion. This is a good number. Bitcoin has been hovering around 34,000, sometimes going below. So is Ethereum. Ethereum has been above 1,800, also going below. It's just been sideways right now. Everybody's still on their toes, anticipating the Bitcoin ETFs to be approved. And based on these sentiments, you see how the market is either going up or down. and some are capitalizing this and taking profits already off of Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies as well, of course. But yes, there's really not much excitement right now in the market, so we won't spend much time here. The topic of today should be I want us to discuss the importance of building a sustainable cryptocurrency, a sustainable ecosystem. Why is that so important? And as always, I always like to bring in examples from the space, from the articles, and just zoom out and discuss the industry first, and then I'll zoom back in and then discuss what we do and how we handle those challenges effectively and efficiently, and just to point out what a beautiful ecosystem that we have here. So again, the question is, why is it so important to have something that is sustainable? And what is actually sustainable? What does that mean if we say we have something that is sustainable? Let me go back a bit and discuss something. Many cryptocurrencies, since we are so new, let's not be fooled. This digital ledger technology is out. The cat is out of the box. This technology is not going anywhere. It's here to stay, and it has so many advantages that it's not even regulations can stop it right now. And I'll point out how far it's gotten already. So right now we always talk in terms of cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, and all that. Really soon, that won't be even a topic anymore. It will be just another day at the office. It will be very common to us. Nobody will be mentioning that anymore. It will be just very normal using this technology, because as we've seen in the last few months, and we've heard in the news, many large institutions, especially those that are dominating the financial infrastructures, such as SWIFT, like we discussed, the entire banking transfer system, they're coming on board. We have payment systems such as Visa that we've already discussed. They're the largest ones. They are coming on board as well. They even partner with the USDC, with Circle, to process their payments through stable coins. We've discussed about the largest money managers in the industry that are already getting involved with Bitcoin first and Ethereum as well, as they put out the applications for the Bitcoin ETFs, eagerly awaiting the results or the green light by the SEC so they can partake in the cryptocurrency, because such institutions, they don't want to get involved with crypto as long as there are no regulations, because they are being regulated by the SEC, and they don't want to misstep because they'll get hit with major fees, and they don't want to get involved with all that, even though they already went through multiple pilots to ensure that they'll be ready. Some of them went even a step ahead and built their own blockchains, and so on and so forth. So again, I want to remind us, the topic is, why is sustainability so important? Why is building strong fundamentals so important? Trust is a very rare commodity in this industry. As a matter of fact, it's non-existent. And the beauty of the technology is you won't even have to trust anybody. You don't have to trust anyone, because the smart contract does the work for itself. So as long as you have an audited smart contract and you can verify yourself that the smart contract does what it's supposed to do, you don't have to trust a third party. You don't have to trust an individual, because the beauty of blockchain technology, digital ledger technology, is that once these smart contracts are developed, they're supposed to do what they need to do, and nobody can stop it. Once they're deployed on the blockchain, they'll be doing what they need to do, what they're programmed to do, whether it's malicious or whether it's solid and secure. It will do what it needs to do, and that's the beauty of this new technology we're in. And of course, we are talking about positivity. We're talking about a smart contract that is audited, that is clean, that does exactly what it needs to do. It doesn't need a third party involved. So with that said, let's zoom out and look at certain projects. Again, the topic of today is, why is it important to have trust and have a sustainable ecosystem? Let's look at some articles. We've always been talking about Visa. Visa is the leader in the payments, in the payment processing industry. But now their direct competitor MasterCard has made a major move forward now as well. They've partnered with our crypto payment firm MoonPay, that is actually also working hand in hand, or used to work hand in hand, with Binance, with Trust Wallet, and the other major wallets as well. Now MasterCard struck a deal with MoonPay, which is a Web3 payment processing company in the crypto space already, well established. Now these two powerhouses are coming together, and MasterCard said, we are not being left behind by Visa. So they went head first, partnering with MoonPay to process multiple payment on and offboarding, of course, again, through MoonPay. This is a major step forward, and this just establishes what we've always been discussing, that these mainstream institutions have seen the benefit of this new digital ledger technology, and because they are well established already but are lacking the know-how or the experience in the space, they now take the route of partnering with existing institutions within the space, and they're leveraging their existing clientele, leveraging their reputation, leveraging the licenses they already have in the real world as regulated entities, well-established entities, very profitable and well-trusted entities. And they take the easy way by partnering with this well-known also, but way younger and non-regulated crypto companies. And then they join forces to bring crypto mainstream. Let's look at some things here. So we understand that MoonPay, like I said, and MasterCard joined forces, and they'll be utilizing each other's infrastructures. So MasterCard will take advantage of MoonPay's entire Web3 portfolio, including the minting of ETH passes and so on and so forth, and also using the creativity of the front end, like I said, the experience that MoonPay already has in the crypto space through their developers developing front-end apps, meaning the ones that we as retailers or institutional clients can interact with in the front, and develop also the smart contracts needed in order to be able to integrate the infrastructure of MasterCard on-chain. So they'll be leveraging of each other's strengths and infrastructures and join forces. And on the other way around also, MoonPay in turn, they will also integrate existing products of MasterCard already. And this will increase, of course, compliance and trust, like we just discussed, across the Web3 industry. And this is what we discussed, is that now established institutions are leveraging their regulated licenses, their great reputation, and the proven business model, proof of concept, the existing clientele, and now they're introducing them into the blockchain using also a young but already established payment processor such as MoonPay. They do this so they don't have to start from scratch. They don't have to go through hiring all these developers, which are already very low. Like these developers are high in demand. There's more work to do than there are developers to develop all these applications. So it's much easier to join forces with established crypto companies as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. So this is great news. This is great news for us in the crypto space, because not only Visa now has partnered with Circle, but now their direct competitors, MasterCard, is now also entered the space and is about to disrupt the entire space, joining forces with MoonPay, one of the larger payment processors in the crypto space already. So again, today's question we ask ourselves: why is it important to have a sustainable infrastructure, to have a sustainable ecosystem in place? This is one of the questions. This is one of the answers. People now, after all these so-called black swan events, starting with Luna, with FTX, and with other major institutions that just crumbled based on weak fundamentals or just malicious intents by the developers, this has caused a lot of distrust in the industry, and many are standing on the sidelines and don't want to be involved with any crypto, anything called crypto, or don't want to be involved in the crypto industry, period. Now, these well-established institutions are of course taking advantage of this, because they understand that trust is not around, the space is not regulated yet, and there's a lot of bad players in the space. Actually, there are more bad players in the space than really legitimate projects, unfortunately. And this has put a bad reputation for the industry. There are a lot of people who don't want to even get involved with it once they hear that C word for cryptocurrency, unfortunately. But this is about to take a turn for the good, because now well-established institutions are gearing up to partner with other cryptocurrency projects, and they leverage each other's infrastructure, experience, network, working capital, and they come together to bring crypto mainstream, because these well-established institutions will bring trust, licenses, regulatory background already, and this is very good for us as an industry. It legitimizes us as an industry, and this is great for us. Another thing that we just discussed is that unfortunately, like we just talked about, exploits are still going on. The latest one was, as everybody was anticipating Bitcoin ETFs to come out, there's this cryptocurrency that took advantage of individuals, and they used the same name, actually, like the real BlackRock Bitcoin ETF would have, called IBTC, and they created a token on the Binance blockchain and really ripped off a lot of investors. It was in the north of, 700,000 worth of BNB. So it was a rug pull, basically. They pulled the rug on those investors, and they ran away with $700,000 worth of BNB and rugged the whole project. These investors they've mistaken the scam token for BlackRock's proposed iShare Bitcoin ETF. Like I said, it had the same IBTC ticker symbol, so they assumed that was already BlackRock's ETF, and they heavily invested in that. Unfortunately, it was a rug pull. So like we mentioned earlier, there is a lot of malicious things going on in the space, and on a daily basis, and investors are really being taken advantage of. So be on your, be alert, be careful, and always watch out, that There are a lot of malicious intentions going on here. But now, what I wanted to highlight here is another large, well-established institution in the crypto space, that's Circle. Circle is the issuer of USDC. The reason why it's of interest to us is because we are paired with USDC stablecoin. USDC is the 6th largest cryptocurrency in the crypto space, and it's regulated as well. Its assets are managed by a well-regulated institution, and one of the largest asset manager, BlackRock. They are the ones managing the reserves for Circle, so it's in great hands. So Circle went a step ahead. They went ahead to partner also with Taiwan with a family store called Family Mart. The reason is to push USDC, the stablecoin adoption. As you know, all this is in the effort to bring cryptocurrency mainstream. Like I told you before, during this bull run, stablecoins will be dominating and will be the catalyst to really bring in and usher in the bull run. And in the third article I'll highlight that even closer. But sticking with Circle did something very interesting. They partner with this Taiwanese. It's a chain of a grocery store. And they have a membership of 800,000 users. So it's a convenience store. It's actually a Japanese convenience store, but they have stores in China, Philippines, South Korea, and many other countries. And now what they're promoting, they have this initiative called Points for Crypto. What they do is, I'm sure you're familiar, whatever country you're in, if you go to a convenience store, they usually offer you a card. And with that card, as you're purchasing your groceries, you can accumulate points. Now, the partnership between Circle and this establishment is that now they allow their customers of the convenience stores across different countries in East Asia to redeem their points accumulated from purchasing groceries within the department stores. Now they can redeem those points for USDC. I mean, this is a great use case in real world, and this will bring more exposure for USDC as well, especially in the Asian market, which is also extremely crypto friendly, and they have a large population there as well. So it's good. Exposure for Circle is great for us. So as long as USDC is doing great and gaining more use case in different markets in the world, it's good for us as well, because that will bring more exposure to us as well, because we are not only paired with USDC, but we are also giving out USDC as staking distributions as well. So this is another great move forward for the crypto space that Circle is doing here, which, like I said, is the 6th largest cryptocurrency in the space. And let's look at it. Circle is sitting at number 6 right now. They have 25 billion worth of Circle already circulating, but still the number one stablecoin is still Tether at 84, right above 84 billion in market cap. Now that we've understood how great this is, in the US, there's some other department. Imagine a Walmart partnering with Circle and giving people points, like where you can redeem your Walmart points, for example, for USDC stablecoin. So this is a major thing. I believe many other department stores will want to partner or will want to use the same concept like Circle has done right now with this international convenience store franchise. And I believe this is another great effort towards bringing crypto mainstream. Now you can just go about your daily business, doing shopping for your groceries, but now you can redeem your points for a stable coin, for a cryptocurrency. This is great. This will bring crypto mainstream. This is another great effort towards adaptation of crypto. So this is another thing I just wanted to share with you, community, and just show you that we are in a space where large institutions have recognized real use cases and understand that this crypto technology is for the betterment of us all. It's more efficient, it's more transparent, it's borderless, and it brings great adaptation to the space. Now, keep in mind, this circle, these stable coins, they have to be backed by US debts. We discussed this before. So it's a win. It's another win for the US dollar, just remaining as the global reserve currency. But let's go even a step further. Let's go and look at now a well-established bank that has been in the space for centuries now, for over a century. We all know about JP Morgan, and JP Morgan is by far the largest and most well-established mainstream banks and a Wall Street giant in the space. Like I said earlier, many institutions are waiting on the sidelines. And I said this a couple weeks ago that let us be the first to say that Apple will be the next. They're already into banking right now. You can bank with Apple and earn interests. But I believe they'll be the next to get involved with stable coins. It's very lucrative. They have deep reserves, but because the reason why they're not in yet is because they don't have a green light by the regulators. But these banks, such as JP Morgan, they have very good connections to politicians. They have great connections, to the right people, and they don't have to wait for the SEC to give them a green light. They are well connected enough, and they already took a leap of faith, and their stablecoin, because they have not only their own blockchain, but they also have their own stablecoin called JP Coin, and it's already at $1 billion in daily transactions. So let's look at this again. This is a well-established bank, JP Morgan. It's actually the largest bank in the US. Has a large history. While other institutions are waiting on the sidelines for the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, to give them the green light to get involved into cryptocurrency, they already established their own blockchain. They already have their own stablecoin, which right now has $1 billion transactions on a daily basis. The reason why they got the green light, of course, it's because the same thing. First of all, like I told you, I believe stablecoins will be the largest catalyst this upcoming bull run, because a lot of stablecoins will be needed for off-ramping. A lot of liquidity is about to enter the space. Like we discussed, entire infrastructures, the entire financial system is about to be onboarded on the blockchain. We are talking about the entire derivatives market, the entire stock market, the entire foreign exchange market is about to come on the blockchain. And that's a lot of liquidity that is about to enter the space. And we will need a lot of stable coins to be able to off-ramp from cryptocurrency into fiat. And to do that, the government is in preparation of all this. That's why you see as well-established institutions such as JP Morgan already involved with stablecoin. You see payment giants such as PayPal, they have their own stablecoin. You see how Visa partnered with USDC for stablecoin. You always see the same thing, that these large institutions are either directly getting involved with stablecoins and issuing their own stablecoins, or they are partnering with established institutions, stablecoin institutions, because they understand that stablecoins will be in high demand come this next bull run, and it's the catalyst that will take us that will break through and take us to this bull run and guide us through this bull run that we are looking forward to. A lot of volume, a lot of liquidity is about to enter this space through the likes of, like I say, JP Morgan, Visa through USDC, MasterCard we just saw, and so on and so forth. And especially these large money managers, they are about to enter the space through these Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, and they'll need a lot of stable coins in order to offer them. So this is definitely a big money grab for all these established banks. And for us, this is the best sign you can have to have the largest opponent of crypto. JP Morgan CEO once said, cryptocurrency is a scam, Bitcoin is a scam. And now they usually do that to make sure that the price goes down. Once he made that statement, the price went down by 20%. Bitcoin price went down by 20% within a couple hours. And of course, they used that dip and bought in cheap. So, and it's all legal. It's all legal. So these are tactics that these institutions use. They always fight the new technologies because it's a threat to their existing establishment. But once they realize that you can't fight it, you can't win the fight, you bring negative news to bring down the price, you get involved, and then now you establish your own blockchain and you establish your own stablecoin as well. So let me just talk about their stablecoin. They launched not only the US dollar, mostly of course their stablecoin is in US dollar. However, they also came up with a euro supported payment with JPM coin. So not only are they issuing a US stablecoin, but also the euro stablecoin. But now they even went one step ahead, and now they're even offering on their platform, like I said, Onyx is the name of their blockchain. Now they're offering central bank digital currencies for countries. They're offering them to partner with countries globally that are interested in central bank digital currencies. Now they're offering those countries to build the CBDCs for them on their own blockchain. Why do they want to use their own blockchain? Why don't they come on Ethereum or Binance? Or it's all about control. They want to be able to control the inflows and the outflows of these funds, and they want to be able to freeze any funds running through their stablecoin. They also want to maintain the market share. They want to have full control of the market, as they're the first Wall Street institution that has fully entered into the crypto space, not only with the blockchain, but with their own stablecoin as well. They would have used Tether, which is the largest stablecoin. They could have used USDC, but no, they're using their own. Right now, they have 1 billion in transaction, like we saw. The largest right now is Tether, and Tether is at 84 billion. So who do you think people will trust more? As JP Morgan stablecoin is growing, do you think people will trust Tether more? Or will they trust an established bank that has been regulated and has been around for over 100 years, such as JP Morgan, or such as, like I said, such as Visa that has partnered with USDC? So of course they will trust USDC more, because they partner with Visa and with BlackRock and with JP Morgan as well, and Goldman Sachs, and so on and so forth. So these well-established institutions have a much deeper trust level by the retailers. And because they've already been around for so many years, people will tend to use their stablecoins more likely than the ones in the crypto space, because Nobody knows the history of these companies at all. So this is exactly the topic again today. Why is it so important to build something robust, something sustainable, and why is trust non-existent in this space? And because of the smart contracts, it's not even relevant. It's not even important to have that. But it's very important that your reputation goes a long way. And these well-established institutions with a purpose that have been around, that are not related to the crypto space, which is known for fraud, scam, rug pulls, people will tend to trust these institutions more and on-ramp through crypto through them, rather than established institutions that are already in the space, that don't have strong fundamentals, and that are not well established, and don't have strong ecosystem that is sustainable. So sustainability in the space is key. And for the long run, you want to build something that is built for decades to come, because this technology is here to stay and it's not going anywhere. So now that we've covered these 3 articles, and we've established how the largest bank in the US is now with millions of clients, they're using their own blockchain, they're using their own stablecoin, and they're also offering Euro stablecoin. And now they got into the CBDC business as well, offering stablecoins for nations now. So they are taking in applications. Why is this so important? And like we discussed this prior, the regulators are happy because now they have an established bank that will be willing and actually forced to buy their treasury bills, which are US debts. In order to back your stablecoin, you need to buy US treasury bills, which are US debts. And they are only at $1 billion right now. The largest is 84 billion. We saw Tether is the largest stablecoin with 84 billion in transaction in market cap. So JP Morgan still has a long way to grow. They just established themselves last month. So eventually, picture by the time JP Morgan hits that 84, 85 billion market cap like Tether is right now, imagine how much liquidity would have flown into this space through JP Morgan itself. So the point I'm trying to point out here is that the US government is using these established banks and real-world institutions, welcoming, onboarding them, giving them the licenses they need and green light they need under condition that they establish their own stablecoins that will be used, because the real use cases in the space right now, in the crypto space, that has been successful are the stablecoins. So all these large institutions that we see right now, once established institutions such as JP Morgan, PayPal, these are like pilot. They are watching them closely to see how it's going to work out. And before you know, all these large institutions will jump in and get involved with stablecoins. Instead of issuing their own tokens or cryptocurrencies, they're going to get involved with stablecoins, because stablecoins are extremely lucrative, and the government will gladly give them the licenses they need to operate a stablecoin, because this will give the government green light to keep raising the debt ceiling and to keep printing money, and for the US dollar to remain the global reserve currency. And this is the whole agenda behind this. This gives the US dollar fresh air, a breath of fresh air, and another, it prolongs, by kicking the can down the road, it prolongs the existence of the US dollar, because now these establishments are forced to buy US debts to back these stable coins. And because they are established institutions, retailers such as you and myself will trust them more and gravitate towards their stable coins in comparison to that of Tether, for example. That is the number one right now. And even USDC is very well established because their reserves are governed, and the asset manager of Circle is BlackRock itself. So, and BlackRock obviously is being regulated by the SEC. So USDC is solid. And other competitors that are about to come are well-established institutions in the real world already, such as banks, payment processing institutions such as Visa, even MasterCard, JP Morgan is now in, and other institutions that are about to enter the stablecoin era, which is very lucrative. Like we discussed, in one quarter alone, Tether made profits of 1.3 or 1.4 billion. And this is not revenue. These are pure profits now. These are after all the expenses. These are 100% profit. Is between 1.3 and 1.4 billion every quarter, every 3 months. So it's very lucrative for the institutions with stablecoins. And it also helps the government, the US government, to keep raising the debt ceiling and to keep printing money. And we as retailers, it's good for us as well, because this will bring more money into more liquidity into the space. And because cryptocurrencies are the most profitable assets, they will be targeted. Once there is discretionary income, people will always flock towards cryptocurrency because it's the most profitable financial asset right now. Right next to it is just the stock market, the tech industry. But the number one is cryptocurrency. So that's where all this liquidity will end up being flooded on. And this is good news for us. So it's basically a win-win-win for everyone. Win for the institutions, a win for the government, and then a win for us, because we are already in the crypto space, and we are going through drought right now. And with all these windfalls that are about to enter the space, with all these new financial infrastructures about to get on the blockchain, and all these establishments getting involved into the crypto space, we are about to experience a once-in-a-lifetime flood of liquidity that is about to enter the space. This is why it's very important for us to ensure that we have a platform that is sustainable. If you're not sustainable, we won't be around long enough to experience or to take advantage of all this liquidity that is about to enter the space. Now, not everything is rosy. Let's look at the challenge now. What's the challenge in the space? Before we zoom in and look at our ecosystem, look at our platform, and point out what sets us apart and what makes us different, let's look at the challenge that we are facing in the space right now first. We've been through this before, but for those of you that are new and didn't know or still don't know about it, let's look at these well-established applications, well-established companies in the crypto space, led by Lido. Lido is the largest Ethereum staking platform in the space. Maker is the only decentralized stablecoin in the space. Aave is the largest lending platform. Uniswap is the largest decentralized exchange. Compound is one of the largest lending and staking platforms in the space. Rocket Pool is also an Ethereum staking platform, and Carve is another stablecoin staking platform as well. These top 10 cryptocurrencies are the most widely used, the most liquid, and the ones with the most volume, daily volume in the space. Let's look at some of them. I just want to highlight the challenge we are facing right now in the space. Keep in mind, the topic is, why is it important to have a sustainable cryptocurrency, a sustainable ecosystem? Now, let's look at this. If we go to CoinMarketCap, let's look at some of those well-established applications that we're using. Let's start with, they're still here. Let's look at Lido. Lido is great. Let's zoom out. Like we saw, Lido is number one. It is the most used application on the Ethereum blockchain. And if we go to CoinMarketCap here, we see it currently has a daily volume of 62 million. $62 million on a daily basis is being run through Lido. And as we see, Lido is extremely inflationary. They don't have any deflationary mechanisms. And due to that, its price came down by 83% since its all-time high back in the last bull run. And because they're very inflationary, you see that even though they have such a high volume, daily volume, you see the chart at best is going sideways, at best. So this is a challenge in the space. The challenge is inflation. There's too much minting of the token. There's no retention or use of this high volume. These tokens lay emphasis on great utilities, but the token itself lacks basic fundamentals, which are not to become deflationary. Don't keep minting tokens, new tokens, because the more tokens are being minted in the space, the more, of course, just similar to the fiat currencies we are facing right now, they're losing purchasing power, and that's exactly what's happening with these cryptocurrencies. They are losing purchasing power, they're losing value, they're being diluted because they're inflationary in nature. What does inflationary mean? They're issuing more token on a daily basis. They're minting more tokens on a daily basis, which increases the supply and devalues the cryptocurrency itself. This is why, even though they have a $62 million in volume on a daily basis, you see the chart basically going sideways at best. And that's why it's lost already 83% in value since its peak. Okay, let's look at another one, and you'll see similarities. Let's look at our famous Aave, the best lending platform in the space. You see the same picture, and Aave is actually, it's unbelievable. It has like 161 million in volume, 161 million in volume. Any project with strong fundamentals and has $161 in volume, the chart should not look like this, not at all. And also, it lost 87% in value since its all-time high, despite the high volume of 161 million. This is really bad. If you have such a successful project with 161 million in volume, your chart shouldn't be looking like this. But it looks like this because it lacks, and these are the challenges we are looking at in the space. It lacks strong fundamentals. It lacks sustainable fundamentals in the space, which is it's inflationary. They keep minting new tokens, and it's inflationary. Their staking platform issues out their own Aave tokens, which inflates the market and devalues the price. And they don't have a liquidity. They're not retaining liquidity, and they're not burning any tokens. So because of lack of those strong fundamentals that encourages a sustainable cryptocurrency, a sustainable ecosystem, because it's lacking, even though they have 161 million in volume, the chart will look like this, and it will remain like this because it lacks the strong fundamentals of a sustainable cryptocurrency. Let's look at the last one, and this is the famous one that we all know about, and this is Uniswap. Uniswap, needless to say, is the most widely used and is the most copied application in the crypto industry. And you see the chart is exactly the same. And we're not picking on any projects. We're just highlighting the challenge, the problem that we face in this industry. And that is lack of sustainable cryptocurrencies, lack of a sustainable mechanism within an ecosystem. And like I said, it's inflation, it's lack of retention of liquidity, lack of a banning mechanism, and a lack of giving out your stakers a stable coin or a different currency. You're giving them your own native currency. That causes inflation and it devalues the cryptocurrency over the long run. And despite having 156 million in volume on a daily volume, your chart still looks like this. And this is because of the lack of strong, sustainable fundamentals. So this is the challenge we're facing in this space right now. 156 million in volume. Now, I would like to zoom in because I think we get the idea. I would like us to zoom in and take just 10% of this. So 10% of 156 million, let's just take 10%. That's 15 million. And do the math based on our fundamentals that we have in this space. Okay, now let's zoom into Bullrun. How is Bullrun addressing the challenge that I just pointed out? How is Bullrun addressing the industry-wide challenge of weak, sustainable fundamentals, which are inflation, lack of banning mechanism, and lack of issuing your own native token as staking distributions? Instead, we tackle that. This is how we tackle that. First of all, we implemented liquidity. We have a 6% buy and sell tax. 3% of that we're using to retain liquidity. Liquidity is very important because it allows traders to be able to enter and exit their positions. That means that whatever you put in as your initial investment, you won't have to worry about when time comes for you to exit, you'll have enough funds in the pool to exit, because we have a mechanism in place that keeps retaining liquidity for you, so that whenever your time comes to exit, you'll have enough funds in the liquidity pool to exit. So that's one of the challenges that we're tackling that is not being tackled right now in the space by the so-called blue chip companies that we just looked at the chart. Now, another thing, like we said, is banning. We have a banning mechanism. We saw how supply keeps increasing, and this affects the price negatively in the long run. And that's why you see how the charts in the long run look like this. They keep decreasing because there's more and more tokens are being minted and are being added into the liquidity pool, and this devalues the token. It devalues the cryptocurrency over the long run. So this is an inflationary problem that we're facing, that we're seeing in the space, and we are addressing that by one, banning the tokens. How are we banning them? First of all, we started with only 1 million, very modest supply, only 1 million tokens in total supply. And now, because we implemented banning and we have a deflationary mechanism, our supply is actually shrinking. It does the opposite of what we are seeing here in these famous cryptocurrencies. So instead of increasing in more tokens, we actually decreasing it. So ours right now, we started with 1 million and now we're at 974,000. So our total supply is shrinking, it's decreasing. And the laws of economics say the scarcer the token supply becomes, the more valuable the cryptocurrency becomes in the long run. So that's a direct inverse relationship here. Now, another thing that we do is we have a staking platform as well. However, we are not issuing out our native tokens as distributions because of exactly these mechanisms that will cause the cryptocurrency to be inflationary and lose value over time. So we are giving out USDC, which is the 6th largest stablecoin in the space. That's how we're issuing them out. But where does it come from? Where does this USDC distributions come from? They come from volume. And we did that so that it's done in a sustainable way. As long as there are trades coming in, buys and sells, that's how the USDC is being generated, through volume. So as the platform is successful, as long as it remains successful, it brings in volume. That's how these distributions will last perpetually, meaning forever. And this is the whole idea of building or developing a sustainable ecosystem that is deflationary, that retains liquidity, that has a banding mechanism, and that gives you staking distributions in a stable coin and not in the native token. This is how we tackle the challenges that currently are plaguing the space right now. And in the long run, it's very important to have an ecosystem, have a cryptocurrency that you can stake with peace, knowing that in the long run, your staked cryptocurrency is not going to be devalued based on the inflationary characteristics like it's prone in the market right now. That's the issue. That's the challenge. Those are the problems we're facing. And this is how we as an ecosystem, we are solving those problems. We are tackling those issues and we are addressing them in a very unique way that maintains a sustainable ecosystem, keeps our token, our cryptocurrency deflationary, meaning it's become scarcer and scarcer, and scarcity means value in the long run. This is how we do it. In addition to taxes, we also have infinite amount of these NFT boosters. As I told you, we have a staking platform. It's a dual staking platform, meaning you can not only stake your BRL tokens and receive 70% of the USDC, but you can go a step further and purchase these NFTs that we are offering on the platform and maximize your USDC distributions to 100%. How you do that is by purchasing 5 of these NFTs and staking them alongside your BRL tokens. And this is how you'll maximize your USDC distributions. Now, 100% of the revenue generated from these NFT sales are again brought into the liquidity, added into the liquidity. This builds a very sustainable and healthy liquidity in a very organic way, and this is scalable and sustainable as well. So this is how we tackle the challenges that we are facing in the crypto space currently. This is how our ecosystem was built from day one to tackle these obvious and challenges that these blue chip cryptocurrencies are facing. This is our claim to fame. This is the added value we bring into the space, and this is what sets us apart. In addition, we also have a reserve of 10%. We are using those tokens to stake as well on the staking platform. And those reserves are also giving us USDC distributions. So as long as there's volume going on, these reserves will in perpetually give us USDC distributions. And these in turn, again, we will be able to accumulate and build and add into our liquidity. These are the 3 ways: through taxes, through the sale of NFTs, and through the staking of our reserves. These are 3 ways that will be generating liquidity to add into the liquidity pool. We'll be generating revenue to add into the liquidity pool, and this will be very attractive, not just for stakers who will be earning USDC distributions, but especially for traders as well, because they'll be happy to be having deep liquidity, meaning they'll be able to enter and exit the position with ease, knowing that there's enough liquidity, there are enough funds in the liquidity pool, and they won't have to worry about that. And just to make an example, for those who don't know what I mean with the importance of liquidity. Importance of liquidity is very important for those who still don't know, because that gives you the opportunity to exit whenever you want to exit your position. The closer that number is to zero, the less liquid you are, meaning the less likely you are able to cash out from this investment. But the closer the number is to 100, the better it is. That means that the liquidity is there. You'll be able to cash out whenever you're ready to cash out. And having an ecosystem that is built to accumulate and to retain liquidity for you, this is something that doesn't exist in the space. This is unique, especially with our 3 different ways on how to retain liquidity. There is nothing, no platform out there does what we do right now. So this is a unicorn. This is something that we can really take pride in. This is something that we've really looked at the market and seen the importance of this. So just to do a quick math again, and to just show you how our largest cryptocurrency, let's see how liquid it is. Like I say, the closer to zero, the less liquid it is. The closer to 100, the more liquid it is. So if we take, like right now, Bitcoin is at 34,000. It went up from 26,000 to 34. So this is great. This is great news for us. It brings in enthusiasm. People that were waiting in the sidelines are now excited. They're about to enter the crypto space because they see how Bitcoin keeps increasing in value and so on and so forth. So the way you calculate your liquidity to market cap ratio is you take the liquidity and you divide it by the market cap. That will give you a number between 0 and 100. The closer it is to 100, the more liquid it is. It gives you the assurance that you'll be able to enter and exit the position whenever you want. The closer it is to 0, the worse it is. It's a red flag. You should be careful. It means that there's not enough liquidity for you to exit whenever you want to exit. Now, let's calculate this. If we take the 958 million that is in the liquidity, and we divide it by the 668, $105 billion, and we multiply by 100, so we have a percentage. We see how it's a very low liquidity to market cap ratio. This is not right. This is not right. We have a very low liquidity to market cap ratio. Let's do it again. 962.33. This is million. We divide this by 668. Exactly. Yes. And then exactly. So we see that it's a 0.14. It will be a 0.14%. So it's close to 0, meaning that Bitcoin is very liquid. It's very liquid. And this is dangerous. This is very dangerous because, like we said before, there are a lot of Bitcoin billionaires, and there's a lot of Bitcoin portfolios that have 100 million and above. And if just a handful of these decide to shift their investment, it will be the end of Bitcoin. So this just to show you the importance of liquidity and to show you how important it is to build something that is sustainable from day one. Because in the long run, you want to be able to be within an ecosystem that is retaining liquidity for you, that keeps burning tokens for you, and that and that gives back to you as a staker. Now, the beautiful thing about cryptocurrencies, every currency has its purpose. Bitcoin is a godfather of cryptocurrency, and nobody's bashing Bitcoin. Bitcoin does what it needs to do. It's meant to be a store of value. It's it's meant to be an immutable cryptocurrency, meaning that no government body can stop it. There is no CEO in Bitcoin. It's the most decentralized cryptocurrency in the space. I'm only pointing out, the only thing I'm doing here is pointing out the issue in the space that we have, and that is lack of liquidity and lack of cryptocurrencies working hard to retain that for you, because that's an issue. In the long run, you want to be able to be part of an ecosystem or a cryptocurrency that is retaining that for you, so that you won't have any issues in the long run. And that's the problem right now. So with that said, I pointed out how, keep in mind, the question of today is, why is it important to build a sustainable cryptocurrency and a sustainable ecosystem, so that in the long run, you have strong fundamentals: deflation, retention of liquidity, bonding mechanism, and giving back to the community through sustainable manner, meaning that you don't give your own token as staking rewards, staking distributions. Those are the things that right now are issues, are challenges in the space. And the most important thing we just looked at is liquidity. Liquidity lacks in even the largest cryptocurrency in the space. We saw that it's lacking. And if we look at ours and we would calculate Bullrun's liquidity to market cap ratio, we would be surprised, because if we calculate it divided by market cap, which is 331, we would realize that it's at 62%. And this is the lowest it will get. This is the lowest it gets, because we're just coming out of a bear market. So we looked at a 0.14% versus a 62%. This is because the mechanisms we have in place. This is because the difference that we make in the space, we combine these three mechanisms together. This is how our ecosystem works. We combine burning, retaining liquidity, and giving USDC distributions in a stable coin. These three mechanisms combined gives us the opportunity and the ability to retain deep liquidity, to maintain a high liquidity to market cap ratio, and to address the challenges, the problems that we are facing right now in this industry. And we looked at those by looking at these blue chip institutions that have weak, sustainable fundamentals, that in the long run, they devalue this cryptocurrency. Even though they have great use cases, great utilities, the tokenomics, the fundamentals are weak, and it doesn't benefit you and I as holders of these tokens, because in the long run, as we stake them, they are losing value over time because there's too much inflation of the token, there's no retention of liquidity, and there's zero burning mechanism in them. And those are the things that we are addressing as an ecosystem, as a cryptocurrency. And this is why we have such a high liquidity to market cap ratio. This is why we have a high burn rate. And this is why we have a sustainable staking platform that is driven by volume, meaning that as long as we have volume going on, we have a sustainable output of USDC distributions, and we don't just blindly issue out native tokens that are inflating the cryptocurrency. This is how we're moving, and this is how we're solving these challenges, and this is how our ecosystem works. So this is what I wanted to highlight to you, and this is what I wanted to point out to you as well. And we have two other community tokens that we launched, and they all have the same fundamental principles. And I'd like to highlight something here. The first one that we had is Killer Whale. And I want to highlight something here. There are many things you have to watch out for if you're getting involved with the cryptocurrency. We saw the problems in the space. The problem is inflation. The problem is lack of gathering liquidity, and build something that will not, in the long run, cause the cryptocurrency to lose value. The way we did that was, and this is another thing, we took 100% of the total supply. Total supply of Killer Whale is 44 billion. We took the entire supply and put it in the liquidity pool. We did that so that there are no other tokens circulating somewhere that will be put back into the liquidity pool and will devalue the token price. So from day one, we took the entire supply and we added them into the liquidity pool. For every project, it's very important to add liquidity. Liquidity is half, usually consists of the token, the native token, and half of it, for example, in this case, is Ethereum. If it was Bullrun, it would be half would be our Bullrun tokens, and the other half would be USDC because it's paired with USDC, and so on and so forth. So what we did to maintain the integrity of being a deflationary token is that we put the entire supply in the liquidity pool, and then we applied a banning mechanism, which is 1%. So 1% of every trade or every transfer is being banned and goes into the ban wallet. Similar is right here with our women token. Same concept we applied for this token as well, for the survivor token. Same deflationary aspect. It's very important that you have a banning mechanism and that you put the entire supply in the liquidity so that you turn this token into a deflationary token. Let's show you. If we go to Etherscan right now, you see, of course, the number one wallet is the liquidity pool. Of course, it has 16%, but right behind it, the number two wallet is the ban wallet, and it has already banned over 5% of survivor tokens, which makes this token extremely deflationary because the entire supply, which is now dropped down to 16% in the liquidity pool, is now being banned. With every trade, we are banning more and more survivor tokens, which is making this token in the long run deflationary, scarcer, and thus more valuable. So these are the mechanisms we applied in all our tokens that we launched. This is very important to us. In addition, we ensured that the contract is renounced, meaning that the deployer of the contract, which is us as a community, we have zero control over the contract. There is no need of trust because now the smart contract does automatically what it was meant to do without any human interference. So trust is a very rare commodity, and it's not a needed commodity in the space anymore. Once you renounce a contract, nobody has access to control that cryptocurrency anymore. Same concept also is the liquidity pool has been locked, meaning that nobody can rug pull you, nobody can drain the liquidity out and run away with the funds, like we just saw in one of these articles, how the developers of that said cryptocurrency didn't lock the liquidity pool, and then later on, after a few days, rugged the entire community by draining the liquidity and running away with it. So these are key security features that are very important and that need you as crypto enthusiasts. You should look at these things when looking into cryptocurrencies that you want to be part of, you want to partake in, and you want to be holding in your bag. These are important things that you want to look at. And that's why we take pride that there were no team tokens, no pre-sale or no whitelists, nothing. All tokens were put in the liquidity pool. We have a banning mechanism. The contract is renounced and the liquidity pool is locked. That this ensures that there will be no rug pull. So these are features that we employ in all our tokens that we deploy. And this is the reason why this is another thing we address, the security aspect of it. We are launching our own community tokens that us as a community, we have the first dip to enter these cryptocurrencies, and we can participate in them as a community. So these are just points to highlight and to show you that in addition to all this, we have these weekly events, these 3 weekly events that we hold, and these are to educate you. These are to educate you as a community, and these are very important. We have these 3 weekly events on Twitter Space every Monday, and we have them also on Thursday. We have YouTube, just as the one today. And then we also have Saturdays, we are on Telegram as well. So these are the reasons why we educate, we inform, not just about our ecosystem, but about the market, about the challenges within the market, about the industry, about the opportunities. And then we always like to zoom in and then build parallels and point out how we are tackling those challenges within our industry. Keep in mind, this industry, like we mentioned at the beginning, it's not going anywhere. Major institutions are now entering the space, either through stablecoins or through partnering with other established stablecoins, or entire infrastructure such as the entire stock market is about to enter the space, and so on and so forth. So the idea is that a lot of liquidity is about to enter this space. A lot of money is about to come into this space. What is your ecosystem doing? What is your cryptocurrency doing? Is it retaining any of that liquidity? Is it building a liquidity for you, or are you the exit liquidity? Is it burning tokens and becoming deflationary, or is the cryptocurrency losing value over time? And staking, everybody likes staking, but how is the staking platform? Is it sustainable? What are you receiving as a distribution? What are you receiving for staking? Is it devaluing your staked bag, or is it increasing it in value? These are things you should pay attention to, watch out for as you do your research, and as you pick the bag you want to purchase and the community you want to be part of. Pay attention to these. And while we're having a sustainable platform that retains liquidity for you, that burns tokens and gives you USDC distributions based on volume that is sustainable, we also educate you on a weekly basis. And we also give you the opportunity, by launching our community tokens, to be able to be part of these launches. There's 2 ways to success in crypto. Be part of a dynamic community. And secondly, get in early in these launches. Finally, we also address the social network aspect of things, and this is very important. We like to open our doors to crypto enthusiasts, veterans, and newcomers in the crypto space. We want to build a community of different geographics, different talents, whether you're a content creator, you're a community leader, you're an artist, whatever your contribution that you can bring into the space, into the ecosystem, bring it. And let's work together to enhance and to better our ecosystem, our cryptocurrency, and to build a social network where we can monetize ourselves. We can monetize our own skills, we can monetize our networks, and we can leverage off of each other's talents and be successful that way. No longer will we be exploited by centralized entities that are monetizing us through advertisements and through our data. But this social network we are talking about is one that will benefit us as a community, as an ecosystem. And this is what we're building here. So you participating in these social events, in these community events, you are being engaged and active and contributing on a daily basis to the betterment of this ecosystem, you're already part of this social network. You're already putting in your efforts and putting in your part in bettering this ecosystem, into bringing awareness to our ecosystem. And this is what we are all about. And we are always about solutions. We look at the challenges in the space and we developed an ecosystem that addresses those challenges. And those are the 4 key challenges that we are addressing in this space. Those who come with a solution that is effective, that works, that is proven, they will succeed. And we are at the forefront of that because we have a very unique platform. We have a very unique ecosystem that is addressing key challenges in the space in a sustainable manner, and that in a scalable manner as well. So this is what we have for you today, community. The question was, why is it important to build something that is sustainable, especially in the long run, especially knowing that liquidity is about to enter the space? Are you part of a platform that is retaining it for you, that will maximize that liquidity for you? If your answer is yes, welcome to the ecosystem. If it's no, do your own research and understand what you need to look for when you get into a project. Do this before this volume comes in, because now we enter into the accumulation phase. This is the time where actually riches are made, and not during or right in the middle of a bull run. This is where you need to accumulate, and so that once the bull run really is in the midst of it, you already relaxed, you already have your bag, and you can just enjoy the ride. This is what I have for you today, community, and I hope it was informational and educational to you. As always, I always like to come back to you, circle back to you, and see if you have any feedbacks, if you have anything that you want to add, that you want us to discuss further. So I'll change my screen and come back to you, community, and then that's how we'll close out this session of today. For me, it's always very important that we have a dialogue. It's not just a monologue from my end. So that's why I'm really thrilled that I can come to you, back to you, and see how we can have this dialogue with you. Let me share my screen here. Okay, let me come to you, community, and see what you have here so that we can close out this session today. See, my brother Glenn is here as well. Glenn Rising, everyone. Greetings to you as well. Yes, let's engage with the YouTube. Let's activate the YouTube algorithm and be active with this. Hyperdeflationary, yes, yes. That's the key. That's very important to build a system, to build an ecosystem and a cryptocurrency that is deflationary. It's very important because most of them, like we demonstrated earlier, they're not deflationary, and that's a big issue. That's a big issue for us, especially if you're using a platform, a staking platform that is inflationary. It's a lose-lose for us. With us, I mean those who are holding or staking those particular tokens. In the long run, it's not sustainable, and it's inflationary. It's losing value over time, and this is bad news for all of us. Sustainability, yes, that's the key. That was the topic of today. Low liquidity, volatility, and high liquidity bring sustainability. Very well said. That's exactly the case, and that's exactly how it is. A great brother, My great brother, I'm so glad that you are feeling much better. Thank you for all the great information you provided for us. I do have a question that I would love to hear your thoughts on. My great brother Theo, absolutely. There is a proposed US defense bill to subject stablecoin issuers like Circle to KYC, all wallets holding USDC. Yes. See, the reason why this is, it's all about on and off ramping, like we discussed earlier. And even right now, we are already experiencing KYC anyway, because the way we bring funds into the crypto space is through banks, and through central exchanges, a combination of both. Either Coinbase, either Binance or Crypto.com or whatever other exchange that you're using, in order to bridge between real world and crypto, you need a bank. You need to enter the space through a bank or some sort of a payment processing company. And this is why, as we discussed earlier, you see how established bank JP Morgan is positioning itself in a way that it wants to dominate the market by not only being a bank, meaning it can on-ramp and off-ramp, meaning that people that want to get into the crypto space will have to go through them because they have the licensing, they are regulated, they're already established, they're already doing the KYC. Regulation means KYC. So know your customer. They have to have an account of the funds that are entering the crypto space, and all this is done by design. It's all about taxes. The government want to be able to tax the individuals that are entering the space. Like we said, the crypto space is a very lucrative space, and in the last bull run, many individuals, such as you and myself, quit their jobs because they made enough profits, life-changing profits, and they walked away from their daily 9 to 5, never to look back. This caused a major issue in the market, in the industry, because many companies lost employees. People walked away, and that, in combination with the pandemic that happened, that everybody was at home anyway, people got the idea to be self-sufficient. People got independent. People started finding ways how to change their lives in different ways. And to answer your question, my co-brother Theo, there is no other way to enter into the crypto space without KYC, because either you get in through Binance, through Coinbase, through Crypto.com, or through MoonPay or any other payment systems, but you have to identify yourself and you have to somehow get on-ramped through a bank. That's the only way. And so this is really just the government that wants to control and start taxing individuals that are involved into the crypto space. And again, I'm glad that you highlighted, yes, it's US. The US is really hard on regulation. And this is why, like we discussed in the last live stream, many institutions left the country. Many were sued and just decided to just go look for greener pastures outside of the US. And these are exactly the reasons why. The whole idea, the whole purpose of cryptocurrency was to give authority, give the power to the holders. You should have authority of your own assets. Be your own bank, have your own wallet that you control, so that it's decentralized. You don't have to go through institutions. But the reason why these bills are being presented is just for the government to be able to tax you, because once you enter the DeFi space, nobody can control you. It's too late. So they want to be gatekeepers of these banks. so that they can control and see how much you're spending and how much you're getting out so that they can tax you, unfortunately. And that's the case right now, not just with Circle, but with any other way that you enter the crypto space. You have to go through a certain bank, and these banks will be regulated. This is why strategically the government has been suing Coinbase, Binance, going after all these exchanges because they are decentralized, and they're enforcing the KYC to them so that they can track, monitor, freeze funds, and just control individuals as they're entering into the crypto space, with the sole purpose to tax them and to be able to monetize from these individuals that are in the crypto space. UK does the same thing, but what they do is they're claiming that they're doing that due to potentially criminal activities, in case you're using your funds for criminal activities, and so on and so forth. So they're passing a bill and leaving room for interpretation so that you, even though you might be innocent, but they can easily freeze your account for any purpose. So they're doing this to avoid, to encourage people to be able to be taxed. That's the whole idea, unfortunately. They want a piece of the pie. They want to be part of this. They don't want to be left behind. And they want to find ways how they can control, monitor individuals and tax them. And this is why many institutions are leaving the US, going to Europe or Far East, and to just look for greener pastures to more crypto-friendly regions where they're not being, or the clients are not being, overly controlled. And that's the whole idea of cryptocurrency. We wanted the freedom, the flexibility of having control of our own assets. So yes, brother Theo, that's the case, unfortunately. Please do share your thoughts regarding this, and KYC is general, if you don't mind. Thank you kindly. Yes, like I said earlier, KYC is, for example, I'm using crypto.com. And in order for me to bring my funds from the real world into the crypto space, I had to go through a KYC, meaning I had to show my identity, my ID, or my national passport. You have to show a proof of residence by showing like a utility bill. You have to take a picture of it and do that. Then you have to verify your address as well, and so on and so forth. So those are important things that these centralized exchanges make you do before you can even open an account with them, connect your bank account to them so that you can on and off ramp your funds. This is just usual procedure. But once you get into the DeFi space, after that, the first time, it will be impossible for them to track you. Impossible is not the right word. There's always ways to track you. However, it will be they will lose track of controlling and monitoring you. Once you really get deep into the DeFi space, nobody will be able to track you. So they try to hit you from the very beginning as you enter through the banks or through the centralized exchanges. They hit you with the KYC so that they can try their best to control and to monitor you and to track you. Could you please explain what liquidity staking is? Liquidity staking. Was that because I mentioned Lido, for example? Liquidity staking is a service that, for example, Lido is offering. But the best way how, for example, our platform works as far as staking is for us, if you stake, it's part of the whole mechanism, the three ways of building liquidity and building value. This is how it works. You stake your BRL tokens, and as you stake your BRL tokens, and the trading volume keeps going up, and the burnings keep happening, and the retention of liquidity also happens on our BRL platform. Those three mechanisms combined help for us to retain and sustain liquidity, because as long as there's trades going on, it attracts not just the stakers who will be earning or will be distributed USDC, but it also attracts the traders, because the traders can rest assured that there is enough liquidity in the liquidity pool where they can always enter and exit their positions without having to worry of not having the ability to exit their positions when they want to. And this is what plagues the space. This is one of the issues. This is one of the challenges we are facing in the space right now. We are not able to have a platform. We don't have a platform that works towards tackling all that challenge. So if you're a staker, it's good for you, because you will be receiving your USDC distributions as the volumes are coming in. You can remain staked. This is good for the traders because it keeps the price stable, and as the volumes are coming in, it keeps accumulating liquidity for the traders as well. And this is healthy because it keeps burning the tokens in the long run, like we were looking at the other charts. And even though the high volume is on, it will cause the price to keep decreasing if you're inflationary. But if you're deflationary, the chart will actually look differently. And this reminds me, with that question, I would like to make an example. I'd like to make an example. Right here. I wanted to do the math, actually. Here is Uniswap. It has 154 million in volume. And I wanted to make an example by saying, what if Bullrun had only 10% of this, which is 15 million? What would be different? How would our chart look like? And what would that mean for us as a platform? So if you don't mind, let's take the 15 million and do the math here. So if we had only 10% of what Uniswap had in volume, this is what would happen. Let's go through this together. So 15 million in daily volume. Let's multiply this by 1%. Let's multiply this by 1%. So this is 150,000 that would go towards burning. 150,000 would go, because this is 1%. So $150,000 worth of BRL would be burned, meaning that our chart would definitely not be going down like this, but rather, because it's decreasing in total supply, it will be the opposite. It will be heading up. It will be heading up, the opposite. Now, let's look at something else. We having 3% that goes towards liquidity. 3% goes towards liquidity. So if we take the 150 and multiply by 3, because it's now 3%, 450,000. Now this is on a daily basis. This goes towards liquidity, meaning that it's building exit liquidity for you. So $450,000 dollars worth of liquidity is being added on a daily basis, would be added into the liquidity, meaning that whenever you're ready to exit, there is enough liquidity being accumulated in the form of 450,000 on a daily basis. That's just 10% of Uniswap's volume. This is how our ecosystem would work. It builds solid liquidity. This means the price stability. This gives the traders the confidence that we are retaining liquidity for them. And in the long run, this makes it increases our liquidity to market cap ratio over time. And because we have these built-in mechanisms, we can easily, in the long run, we can achieve a 1-to-1, a 100% liquidity to market cap ratio. This is something that has not been done before in the space, and our ecosystem was built to do that. Now, let's divide this by 3 again. So 150,000, this goes towards USDC pool. So 150,000 worth of USDC is going to the stakers. So every day, 150,000 in USDC is going towards the staking pool. So those who are staking BRL will receive 70% of that. And those who are staking in additional these NFT boosters will have 100% of the USDC distributions. So basically 150,000 worth of USDC is ready to be distributed among the stakers on a daily basis. This is if we had 10% of the volume that Uniswap has. Now, with this in mind, what does this tell us? This just shows us that we have an ecosystem, we have a strategy, we have developed a way that we can reverse the issues, the challenges, the problems that the market, the industry is facing right now. With our ecosystem, we are actually doing the opposite of this. We are reducing our supply over time. We are retaining liquidity for the holders. We are giving back USDC distributions for those who decide to hold and stake the BRL tokens. So this is how we are tackling the challenge that we're facing right now. So instead of going this direction, we actually would be going the opposite direction, because we are retaining liquidity, we are giving out USDC distributions. That means more people will not want to sell, they'll want to just stake and be part of the 150,000 daily USDC ready to be accumulated, ready to be distributed amongst those who decide to stake. So this is how our ecosystem works. It's sustainable. It's sustainable, and it's built to accumulate and take advantage of all this volume that will be going through our ecosystem. So this is very unique in this space, because even though there's 154 million in volume passing through this platform, it doesn't show it. It doesn't show it on the chart. It doesn't reflect it on the token itself. And this is an issue that is plaguing the entire industry. It's not just Uniswap like we saw. It's Aave as well that is having the same issue. And it's also Lido as well that is having the same issue. So those three combinations combined puts us in a very unique situation where our chart will look extremely unique. Having even just a fraction, even just 10% of the volume that these competitors have is enough for us to be able to have a decent looking chart, a sustainable ecosystem that gives back to the community, burns tokens, and retains liquidity for you massively. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out in regards to the question that was asked by the community. Yes. There is a purpose. We read this already. Mr. Bright, BRL all the way. Yeah, he's making fun of me coughing. Mr. Bright, thank you for your positive energy. Thank you for always being part of these live streams. Miss Samantha, been following this project community for a while, excited for this future. Very happy to have you here within our ecosystem. Nice having you here as well. And this is back to you, Miss Samantha. I'm inviting you to join our Women Community Survivor. We have a token launched on the BRL.Live ecosystem in honor for women. Here you have it. And I'm sure you will also put down the link to the Telegram group, or I can do that. I don't have that, but I can give you the website where you can then oh, perfect. So here's the website, and the Telegram group is there as well. This is great. Yes, Survivor is a dedicated token to the women in the space. Is to encourage, to give the women a platform where they can be amongst themselves and feel empowered and be uplifted, learn about crypto, and just be amongst themselves and discuss topics of their interests. And it's a very, very active community on Telegram. I encourage every woman to be part of that. It's a dedicated platform for the women. Of course, men, you can also, in support of the women, you can also participate. But this is strictly a platform built with the best interest for the women, to give them a space of their own where they can unfold and be themselves, uplift each other, empower each other, and have a platform of their own where they can feel empowered, and they can educate themselves among themselves. And this is very important because this is another thing that is lacking in this space, and we are really privileged and humbled to be able to offer that platform within the umbrella of the BRL ecosystem. And we offer Survivor token as a space for the women to feel at home. So yes, we're very happy. We're very happy to have you there. And yes, hopefully you'll be. Oh, there you go. I'm glad. Will do, and thank you. Yes, definitely. We're very happy to have you there as well, and hopefully we'll see you there as well. So, community, these were the comments that were here, and we already went through an hour 53 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. So thank you very much for those that were able to make it here today on the live stream. It's always such a pleasure. Thank you for those who participated and gave their feedbacks, asked questions. It's very important to be engaged. It helps the algorithm to bring this video further out to others. We always like to take the opportunity of these community events to highlight our industry, talk about our industry, talk about where we are right now, talk about the future, even talk about the past, and then look at the challenges, look at the opportunities, zoom back in to our ecosystem, build bridges, build parallels, and highlight what are we adding, what value are we adding, what sets us apart, how are we different, and how are we responding to those challenges, what are our solutions to the challenges, and what opportunities are we taking advantage of. And I hope this session highlighted and answered those questions to you. Remember, the question was, why is it important to have a sustainable ecosystem, a sustainable cryptocurrency? And I hope that by the end of this session today, you got the answer and you have a better idea what to look for, and you have a better understanding of how our ecosystem is addressing those challenges, having a solution for it, and is also sustainable, scalable, and is tackling exactly the challenges that we're facing in the cryptocurrency right now. This is what I have for you today. I want to wish you and yours a wonderful rest of your week. We're almost at the weekend. Looking forward to Saturday. That's when we have our next community event, which will be on Telegram, on our main Telegram account for Bullrun. Looking forward to see you there as well. It will be a different setting, but I always look forward to those events as well. Bring your questions, bring your follow-up questions, and bring your feedbacks with you. As always, thank you again for those who are able to make it here live, and those that were listening later on. I hope we had an informative, educational, and inspirational session for you put together today with the help of the community. So this is all I have for you today. And this is how I want to close. Wherever you're from, what region, have a good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, and see you soon. Next time will be on Saturday. Wish you everybody a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye, everyone.